The very latest there on the hostage deal that has been agreed to by the Israeli government's cabinet. Let's bring in now Phil Andrew. He's a former FBI hostage negotiator and the principal of PAX Group, a global crisis and conflict management consultancy. Phil, really appreciate your time. Thank you. No doubt hostage negotiations are always incredibly complex. What's your understanding of how this deal was reached?
Very carefully, and it took every bit and is still taking some of the time that's left. 8 weeks of very hard work, including trying to leverage those third parties. So everything that could have been done, I think, has been done to really establish this. And mind you, this is to bring together an agreement between two parties that are actually at war.
These hostages have been held for around 6 weeks now. What condition would you expect them to be in? Do we know much about where and how they've been held?
We don't know much about how they're being held other than what was shared with us by the hostages that were released earlier in about week 2. But what we can expect is that they are going to be exhausted. They are going to be, their health is going to be not ideal, and they are going to be traumatized. They have yet to be able to even have an opportunity to process the violent, tragic terrorist attack in which they were abducted. So this has really been compounded by then they're being held. So they're going to need first medical support in a very secure and safe place, and then they're going to need immediate trauma support for mental health, and that may go on for years.
So we know around 50 will be released, all going well, in the next few days. That still leaves more than, I think it's around 170 hostages stuck in Gaza. As somebody who deals with these situations, are you hopeful they will be released as well soon, or would you expect Hamas is going to want to keep a portion of them for future leverage?
Well, I think we can expect that, as these negotiations already have been, they're going to be protracted. And that's going to require continued, careful, thoughtful engagement. But what does make me hopeful is that we are at this point right now that it seems like an agreement is in place. It has been approved by the Israelis, that I imagine that all of the intermediate and third parties have also weighed in with their support for this. So now it's at this very delicate time where careful implementation of that agreement, and because this is currently in an environment where there's ongoing hostilities, communication can be difficult. Actually effectuating the line by line understanding of that agreement is going to be very, very important. So I think that while it's fragile, it's very, very hopeful that, one, we could get people released, and two, that this dialogue might continue and others might be released as well.
Phil Andrew, fascinating to hear your insights. Thanks so much for joining us.